Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
This is my life. This is what I do. This has been my life for over 20 years. And it was a really tremendous blow, and I know a lot of my fellow artists have felt that pain.
We're all in this place together. We should be living in harmony. You know, we should all be living together, working together, and being strong, being one. We, the people, are Canada, not the government, the people.
It's more than just standing on a stage and saying it. We really got to get in the thick of it, meet people where they're at, and have the tough conversations and hear stories.
There's a lot more to be outraged about than just what the mainstream's telling you about. You know, it's horrific what happened to those children, but the same Catholic Church, the same Queen, the same government, they're all in power.
I had to pinch myself to make sure this wasn't a dream. I'm in Vancouver at Vanier Park at a music festival that isn't illegal. It's been put on by a pro-freedom rally to celebrate Canada Day, which is also a day that many groups are calling to be canceled. It's to support many of the artists who haven't been able to use their craft over the last 16 months. We're going to talk to them about how that's been for them, and we're also going to ask them why they thought it was important to come out and celebrate Canada Day, even though other people, like I said, are calling for it to be canceled. Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, reporting to you about what happened during Canada's birthday for the year 2021 in the Vancouver area. There's a lot going down this day. It's the first day in British Columbia that we've gone into phase 3, which means there are no limit on indoor and outdoor gatherings. There is no forced masking indoors, and as of last night, just before the strike of midnight, an order came into place that canceled our original order that was signed by Mike Farnworth. The order actually states the state of emergency for the province has now been lifted. But it's not just the slice of freedom that's been returned to British Columbians after 16 months. That's something to talk about. We also have to talk about the fact that across Canada, celebrations like this one, this music festival taking place behind me that was put on by a pro-freedom group, are being called to be canceled. If I'm not mistaken, the first province to cancel Canada Day celebrations was Victoria, BC. But there's a lot of activity happening in Vancouver. As we're standing here at the Vancouver Art Gallery, there's a protest taking place called the Cancel Canada Day protest put on by Idle No More. If you look at their Facebook page that invited people to turn up, they say that due to the recent discoveries at Kamloops Residential School, they will be using their voices to cause an end to land extraction and the devastation, child welfare, birth alerts, forced sterilization, police RCMP brutality, and all of the injustices that the settler state has normalized in these lands. They are calling on Indigenous land, water, and sky protectors and allies to come together and disrupt the celebration. So we're going to talk to the people here that are celebrating Canada Day anyways. I see there's a lot of people wearing orange. I would say about 50% of who's wearing a color for the day is wearing orange or red. And we're going to talk to some of the artists to find out how the last 16 months has been for them and what they think about their first opportunity to legally be able to perform in a large group being called to be canceled. like to perform at the first legal music festival in probably 16 months?
Legal is the word of yes. This is really cool. This is my life. This is what I do. This has been my life for over 20 years, and it was a really tremendous blow. And I know a lot of my fellow artists have felt that pain, to just not be allowed to be you and do what, like, just pour your soul. So, yeah, this is legal. There's police officers right there watching. This is fantastic.
Family came out, my brother came out, and his niece and little kids, and I was just saying how amazing it was to actually play live music again, and how amazing it was for each of the musicians that we talked to afterwards. It's like, oh my God, we missed it so much, and really, it's been a year and a half of not really being able to do what we love. So today was a big day.
It feels amazing. Just really exciting to be able to get back to doing live shows as an artist, and pandemic, not being able to do anything live. It's different when you have to live stream, so it's really exciting to be back.
Oh man, it feels sick. Yo, West Coast vibe and mountaintop, bro. The cruise in the house. It's the best. Yo, it's been a long year and a half. A lot of rallies, a lot of this and that, but to be here and just stick to strictly music, which I believe is a universal language that'll unite people from all walks of life, is just a pleasure and honor to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what it's been like as an artist for the last 16 months.
Well, there hasn't been much going on, much opportunities for artists, so we've just been trying to put on our own through our little family fun days that we've been having back home, little events for the kids, and we just put on performances for the kids, and from there, our music started spreading because we're talking relevant, it's relevant stuff, things that everybody is experiencing right now. So yeah, it gave us more opportunities to be able to perform as artists, definitely.
It's been challenging. It's definitely been really challenging. I was just starting to get on a roll with my performance and putting myself out there as an artist before COVID happened. I had my last show on International Women's Day at the Museum of Anthropology last year, actually, before everything went down. And then it was just like no more performances for a while. And it was hard because it's like, as an artist who performs and puts themselves out there, you kind of lose a bit of a sense of identity from that, from not being able to share your craft. And at the same time, it really helped me a lot. Like, I'm sure it served a lot of people, doing a lot of reflection at home and how we live as people, how we live on the land, how we treat one another in our homesteads, So I definitely did a lot of growing up while also feeling like, who am I and what's my purpose? But ultimately, it's brought me to this place where now that things are starting up, I'm ready.
You guys, YouTube is trying to get rid of us. They've deplatformed us, and we know we're going to be taken off any second. You have to go to rebelnews.com. We need your phone number or your email so that we keep in touch. A lot of Canadians are calling for Canada Day to be canceled, but you're out here performing. I see you've got an orange hat on. What's your thoughts on that?
I understand and I respect the sentiment of cancel Canada Day, but I think if we cancel Canada Day, we lose the opportunity to educate people. We lose the opportunity for people to really take an internal look at themselves. So I think it should be a reflect on Canada Day. It should be a day where we really look at what we've done in our communities, look at how we've affected the Indigenous community, and use it as an opportunity to really get in touch with those who are burdened by this time. I don't want to be a part of a country that doesn't take recognition and responsibility for what we've done. But ultimately, it'd be challenging to say that we support people and not be pursuing reconciliation. That's really, really important. But it's more than just standing on a stage and saying it. We really got to get in the thick of it, meet people where they're at, and have the tough conversations and hear stories.
I know I'm not wearing my orange right now, but it's definitely a delicate time. I'm so proud to be a Canadian, but we definitely have some things we need to clean up. We have some things we need to clean up. That's to put it lightly.
So I'm definitely with the Cancel Canada movement. Because Canada Day, pardon me, not Cancel Canada as a whole.
Well, for some, I think it is Cancel Canada, but yeah.
Yeah, it might be that way, but yeah, for me, it's like we each play a special role in the whole process of things. I fully understand where that comes from, the trauma of the cultural genocide that's happened to the First Nations people of this land is absolutely atrocious. And it's something that I don't get behind and I am not okay with. And it's something that I like to speak about actively with people around me, because I think it's not necessarily that people are choosing to be harmful or perpetuate that trauma. It's a lack of consciousness around it and an understanding, lack of people that are compassionately educating them.
You know, of course, we need to recognize those who have lost their lives, of course. You know, these are real people who have lost their lives in history. However, today, of all days, yes, we can be grateful for the freedom to even recognize that and have people to stand up and give us that sort of awareness of what has gone on in our history and truly learn from it from this day on. I think that's very important.
And, you know, residential schools were terrible. You know, we can't ignore that chapter in Canada's history. However, like I said before, Canada Day is about bringing people together regardless of your cultural status, regardless of where you've been, where you're from, where your family's from. Because we're all in this place together, we should be living in harmony. You know, we should all be living together, working together, and being strong, being one. We, the people, are Canada, not the government, the people.
Man, back to the agenda. I mean, all that stuff's been going on long before they told us that we now all of a sudden know about it. So I just believe that it's a major distraction. I mean, they don't want patriots. They don't want you to be proud of your country. They want people to hate Canada. They want Canadians to hate Canada. And I think that they're having more success than I'd like to give them and give them credit for. But to see everybody here, I mean, for me, you know, there's a lot more to be outraged about than just what the mainstream's telling you about. You know, it's horrific what happened to those children, but the same Catholic Church, the same Queen, the same government, they're all in power. The same ones that did that are the same ones wanting to give you an experimental injection. So, I mean, I just don't understand how people that are mask police, wanting us stay 6 feet, wear your mask, stay home, and, you know, wearing orange and, you know, all about the indigenous, they're the same ones that they're fighting against the same government that's making them do that. So
I wanted to see as if I could find ways to like really help articulate today some of the sections that have been violated in the last year. And there's been a lot, like the right to free travel, the right to congregate. Like these are in our, you know, Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms.
Freedom of religion.
Exactly. And a lot of that's been violated in the last 60 months in light of a pandemic. But ultimately I go like, look, there is a grounds here that has been crossed, and like we as a people allowed that to happen. We freely like served up our rights to be able to be stripped, and I go like, let's see how it works to collect these back now, you guys.
You know, I just want to make it very clear though that we're not trying to take away. I mean, there's justified outrage here. But it's just not the kids. I mean, there's something like 800,000 Indigenous women are still missing or something crazy like that. Like, where's the outrage over that? Why are we waiting until the news tells us, okay, now you can be outraged about that? What are they trying to deter our attention from? So we're not trying to take away from anything that happened to those children. Should we cancel Canada today? No, we should probably cancel the ones that made Canada the way that it is. And get rid of them, vote clean slate, vote a non-confidence, wipe the slate clean, get some new representation in there, take back small government, and make sure these injustices stop happening to anybody and everybody. Just because it happens to one community, it doesn't mean it's okay for the next. So,
now, if you had to give a prediction, we're free right now, but do you think in the fall we're going to see lockdowns?
Oof, you're hitting me with the good questions. Okay, yes. Pull and release, the anaconda grip. You let go, the guy gets comfy, and then you tighten up a little bit tighter. I am hoping I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And I really hope there's some good in this world. But from the pattern that we've seen thus far, it doesn't look so good. So, but hey, I still hope for humanity.
I hope that it won't be that outcome. I hope that this fall we'll see some sense and some sensibility. And I hope that a lot of the science that's coming out that's saying there's a lot of harm that happened, you know, and there's a lot of collateral damage and stuff that we need to really move forward as a society.
I'm just gonna stay positive. No, there's no more lockdowns. Let's think about what we want. Let's focus on what we want. And we want no more lockdowns. We want freedom. We want, freedom. So let's focus on that.
All right, ladies, thanks so much for putting together, I think, the first musical festival that's legal in the last 16 months. Why did you do it?
Because it was time for people just to come together. It's been enough is enough already. We've had so much division. There's been so much segregation. And we just, all day today, people have been saying the kids needed this, the people needed this. It's been hugs and laughter and joy and just serotonin levels must be through the roof right now, right? Like, you know, the cortisol levels are down, everybody's happy and joyous, and this is exactly what we wanted to do. So we put it all on the line, and we're just here, just bringing some joy to Vancouver.
Yeah, it looks like you guys put a lot of effort into it. I mean, the sound setup alone is impressive, and people came from across Canada. So what do you guys think about a lot of people in Canada saying that celebrations like this shouldn't be happening and that we should cancel Canada Day altogether this year?
You know what? Canada's our country. It's not about the people running it, it's about the people that live in it, and we're grieving for those children. But today, you know, we hold them in our hearts, and we want to lift everyone's heart up higher and unite Canadians all once and for all.
One nation, one race.
Under God.
And there's nothing that uplifts the people in a time of grieving more than music.
And you know what? You guys did have, you had some beautiful dancers up earlier on today that kind of set the tone and gave some acknowledgement. I heard lots of things, a lot of people wearing orange. There was a ginormous Cancel Canada Day protest that took place at Vancouver Art Gallery. How do you think what's the best way to move forward together after these discoveries?
I think the number one thing is really unifying one. Like she said, one nation. It's all about one nation. And today, we purposely did that introduction to show respect to everything that's been happening. We didn't start out off with the generic, oh, Canada. We started it off with the tradition, going back to the native roots.
And so if you guys had to do a prediction, in the fall, are we going to see strict lockdowns?
We're out. We're not even out of one in Ontario yet. So yeah, we're never getting out of it. It's on, it's off.
I think we'll eventually get out of it because the good always wins, and with God on our side, it doesn't matter who's against us.
But we can definitely expect it for the fall.
Right. What restrictions, Drea? Did you look around? What restrictions? Rules are for those that choose to follow it, because we're not following the rules. We are not complying. You can stick it in pound sand, but the government here in BC and Canada can go and you know what, because we're not complying. Every time we stand up, we get stronger, and we're not going to quit. We're not going to quit. That's it.
Thank you guys. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Comment below and let us know how you celebrated this Canada Day, or maybe if you're watching this, it might have been a Cancel Canada Day for you as well. Now, something very important has been happening, in case you're unaware, since National Indigenous Awareness Day. Almost every day since then, a Catholic church has suspiciously been caught in flames. That's why my boss here, Ezra Levant, has generously offered $10,000 of his personal finances as a reward to any tipster who gives us a tip at findthearsonist.com that leads to the arrest of the suspected arsonist or arsonists. Again, please share that far and wide by sharing the link of the website at findthearsonist.com.